In today's video, I'm going to be talking about three things. First, overview of Google BARD and how it compares to ChatGPT. Second, how product management is related to artificial intelligence. And third, an exercise for product managers to see if they really need AI or not. So let's get into it. Hey guys, my name is Rubab Dutt Sharma. On this channel, I talk a lot about product management. In some cases, I also share a couple of productivity hacks and time management tips, which I personally follow to remain efficient in my day-to-day job. So feel free to subscribe if that's something of interest to you. Otherwise, without further ado, let's get started. Now, AI as an artificial intelligence, in simple words, is the simulation of human intelligence in machines that are programmed to think and act like humans. Now, this is not a new technology. I'm sure you're aware of that. The artificial intelligence as a technology has been there for decades. I think it was 1950s when it was first developed. Since then, it has been used across multiple industries, multiple sectors, be it healthcare, be it automobile, be it finance, whatever. It has been used across industries. So what has recently happened? Like in past few months, there was a release of a product called ChatGPT. It is a conversational service, which means we ask it a question and it responds back with an intelligent answer, developed by a company called OpenAI, and people were just taken aback. They were flabbergasted after looking at what ChatGPT could accomplish, and there were actually talks whether this is something that could replace my current job or not. So that's the level of insanity that it reached. So I have done a video before talking about ChatGPT. It has a little demo of it and how product managers specifically can make use of it. It's linked above. I'm also going to leave it in description below. So if that's something that's of interest to you, definitely feel free to check it out. So last month in February 2023, Google released a response to ChatGPT. They're calling it Google BARD. It is again an AI product from Google which provides a conversational experience to the end users. Again, we ask it questions, it gives us an answer. So Google BARD is developed on the language called Lambda. Lambda stands for Language Model for Dialogue Applications. And just for context, GPT is actually the language that's used. GPT stands for Generated Pre-trained Transformer. So both of these languages are different, both of these products are different, but from a user experience standpoint, you and me using it, the experience could look somewhat similar, wherein it's like a Q&A tool. Now, Google BARD, they actually have not released the full-fledged product. They have released a test suite and they are calling it AITestKitchen. It is not available for public use. They are only providing access to it on demand. So I have also actually requested for access a couple of days back. I have not received it yet. But basically the goal here is that they want not only the internal testers from Google to be able to test it or train it and make it better, but also external testers from outside Google to be able to test it. So I think that's quite a wise decision that Google has made over here, because I mean, we can live with a product being delayed by a couple of months as long as it provides us great information, right? So that's that. Now, AITestKitchen, as I said, which is the testing product of Google BARD, it has three features. The first is called Imagine It. It's basically asking users to imagine a scenario which they can input there, and the AI tool giving the responses back. Second option in there is List It, which is effectively designed for a user to ask questions wherein they want a step-by-step response. And the third option available on there is Talk About It. So it's you just give it a topic to talk about and it will just give a blurb of text over there. So these are the current options that are available on there as of now. Now, if you look at it with all these three options, it's effectively just different way of framing the questions, but effectively it's going to give out an intelligent answer whichever section you ask the question. Now, this isn't the Google's first AI product. They started AI way back in 2014, almost a decade now. So, and nor is OpenAI. So ChatGPT is not the only AI product by a company called OpenAI, which is acquired by Microsoft. So these are not new technologies which they have created. In fact, Google was the first company to launch the AI principles back in 2014. So they actually kind of started the wave, if you think it in that direction. And the reason that they started investing in AI is because it all aligns with the Google's mission statement, which is to organize world's information, make it universally accessible and useful. Now, to wrap up the discussion on Google BARD and ChatGPT, I think below are the benefits that Google has. First, you can search the web and get updates included, like get the artificial intelligence or get the artificial included on the web search results page using Google. Whereas for ChatGPT, you explicitly have to go inside the platform to get answers. So the Google has an advantage over that. I think a couple of weeks back, Microsoft has started including that intelligence into the Bing search platform, but there's still a long way to go. I don't think there's any direct comparison between Google search and the Bing search at this point. So that's the first one. The second advantage that Google has is precise and up-to-date information. So as I mentioned earlier, ChatGPT has the information up until 2021, whereas Google has information from since forever and until we are speaking now. So it is always precise, it's always up to date. So that is the advantage that Google definitely has. The third advantage that Google has is it is trained on a larger data model. So the data sets that Google uses to train their AI models is much larger in length and in breadth as compared to what OpenAI ChatGPT is trained on, because we know what beast Google is when it comes to data underlying, right? So that's the third advantage. Fourth one, its utility in G Suite. Now, obviously, we are not just talking about going into a third-party platform and accessing things there. It's also how Google is going to be able to utilize all that intelligence in the all applications of G Suite, in the Google Sheets, in the Google Docs, in your Gmail, whatever applications you use in G Suite, it's something going to be available there as well. So that's a huge advantage. And if we look at the data, G Suite actually has 73% of market share, whereas Microsoft just has 7%. So in that department also it's clearly winning. So in my opinion, it's just a matter of time before Google is flying high in this space already. Now moving on, how product management is related to artificial intelligence. So $1 million question, right? Should PMs even be worried about these AI technologies that come in every day? So in my opinion, whenever someone hears, or whenever a product manager specifically hears about AI, they have to think about two things. First, there are AI tools which are going to make the life of a PM easier. Second, there are AI tools which are going to make the life of the end user easier. So let me just explain that. Now in the first category, AI tools which are designed to make PM's life easier. So ChatGPT, Google BARD, they fall in the same category. If you have seen the older video, you will understand how ChatGPT, and I think the same use cases apply to Google BARD as well, that how ChatGPT can be leveraged to help the product manager in doing the market research, in doing the document, in doing the release notes, in doing the document, in doing the announcements and whatnot. So that is what effectively it's helping the PM to do their job better, because it's a conversational service. PM can go inside the tool, even if it's not available on the web, they can still go inside the open web platform, access ChatGPT and ask it questions on who are the users, who are the pain points, can you give me a product strategy, and all of that. So all of this, it's making PM's life easier. Now, if you look up, these are all the things that I have spoken about in the other video are effectively which PM can definitely do when using tools like ChatGPT and Google BARD, with the goal of making their own lives easier. Now, the second category that I mentioned is AI tools which make end users' life easier. So what I mean by that is specifically looking for AI technologies which can be inculcated in their product. So it's not about how would a PM do their job efficient. It's about how can a PM think about making users' life easier or making users' task easier. So for example, the PM is working on a food delivery app, just as an example. Now they have built a product wherein people are browsing food and then being able to select out of those, given a lot of options, and then finally they are ordering the food. Then they are tracking the order and stuff like that until it's delivered. So, and after that there are features for reviews and ratings and all of that. So that food delivery app, now as a PM you need to think, how can I include AI in this app so that end users are able to make much better use of the food delivery app. Now let's go a layer deeper. Let's further divide it into two things. One, maybe scenario wherein it's only been a month or maybe 2 months that you've developed this app and the users are using it. They are happy about it. They are able to accomplish whatever they want to, which means they're able to browse different food options. They are able to place the order, make payments and stuff like that. All good. Now a second scenario wherein it's been a year that the food delivery app is live in the hand of users and they are using it. Now a product manager needs to decide, does having AI on both these products make sense or not? Now in first case wherein you have just launched the product, so my answer to whether you should use AI in that case or not would be no. So I don't think a product which is quite new to the market, you basically as a product manager do not have enough data to train an AI model, and if it's not trained, it's not going to give you some output. It's as simple. So if it's a 2 months old product, there is no use of thinking about using AI. Let the product get adopted first amongst the users. Once it is adopted, once you understand how are the users interacting with the product, what are the things that they are ordering the most, at what times are they ordering, are they even ordering on festivals? So you have to first of all build that data set and then think about using AI. So in the first example wherein the product is just a month or 2 months old, there is no need for AI. Whereas in the second, it's been a year, the product is live. Now you as a product manager, you have huge data underneath. You know which users are in which demographic, how are the people in that demographic interacting with the product, what specific problems are they facing, right? So you have all that great data underneath. Now based on that, you could think about AI. When I say think about AI, you could have features like, you could provide them recommendations for food based on their older order history, or you could provide them a personalized list of items while they are browsing. So that could be one. Or you could provide them some level of insights, for example, they are looking at a food item and in the past when someone looked at it, something like that. So you could provide them insights. So the point here is, it's a very basic thing for you to be able to have all of that data to start thinking about AI. You cannot start thinking about AI from day one because you don't have the underlying data. Now as a PM, you can start thinking about it, but you cannot do anything until you collect the data. So when you are in the first month of the food delivery, you need to have all the checks in place to make sure you are collecting all of those data points, so that over the period of a year you have collected that data point, and that's when you actually start thinking about AI, working with the engineering team. There are data scientists in the organization who you can work with and brainstorm on better ways to surface AI, or better way to, don't think of it as an AI, better ways to provide smart options for the users. That is what AI effectively is. Just one last thing that I want to mention here for product managers: whenever you're thinking of AI, think of it as a technology which can be used to make your users' life easier and better. If an answer is a yes, that is when you should use AI. Don't use AI just because it's a buzzword and everybody's using it, so I'll also give it a try. Because working on AI, training the models, collecting the data, it takes time. You don't want to invest time on something you're not sure if it will actually solve a real problem. So identify that real problem, start making a plan on collecting the data. Once you have ample data, that's when you start speaking with the data scientist and maybe building a model, and so that model takes the input from all of that data, and that's when you provide smart user experiences to the end users. So I think that's how you should think about AI as a product manager. Alright, the last part of this video is an exercise for product managers to think about whether they actually need AI or not. So what I would really like you to do, if you do want to answer that question, is answer these 5 things. I will also be providing a document towards the end which you can download and do it afterwards as well, but I would highly recommend taking some time for it, either now or later. But these are the 5 questions that you should be asking yourself. 1, what is your product called? Like, what is the name of the product? Second, who are the end users of the product? Is it one user who's using it, or is it multiple users who are using it? Once you've identified the users, understand what are they trying to accomplish with this product. Like, what is the main use case is for in our food delivery example. the main use case for a person over there is ordering food. So that is what you will input over here. So once you've identified the users, understand what their main use case is. After that, what is the most recent challenge that they have faced? So if you're a good product manager, you would ideally be keeping an eye on the customer feedback and listening to what is it that they are facing, and you would try to think about possible solutions for them. So the fourth thing you should ask yourself, what's the recent challenge they are facing? Fifth thing is, what solution do you currently have in mind, and if you could leverage AI to build that solution or not. The answer could be no. That's totally fine. I'm not saying that whatever problem there is, it can only be solved with AI, but this needs to be like a brainer exercise for you at this point, wherein you've actually started thinking about whether should I use artificial intelligence to solve this particular problem or not, or it doesn't make sense. If it doesn't make sense, that's also perfectly fine. But I hope this gets your mind going in terms of when you think about AI, what are the things that come into mind, and how do you as a PM make a decision about. Now fill out this data, and I think that will give you a really clear idea as to whether AI is for you or not. Now you will notice that the PDF that I provided will have some sample answers just to make it a little easier for you, so that even if you are stuck and not able to get started at all, those sample answers will help you get started. So I would highly recommend starting it, because I think you must have heard of that term, the AI will not replace us, but people using AI will. So that also applies to product managers. There in fact are roles which are AI PM. So we need to move ahead with technology, and the way for that is to do it slowly. It's not that suddenly you wake up one day and you're going to be an AI PM. You have to slowly and gradually learn about all of these things. So it's better to get started as soon as possible, and this exercise is exactly designed for that you get those juices flowing in your brain and you start thinking about all those things. And if you need any help with that, do let me know via comments. There also is a link to a one-on-one meeting invite with me. There's a Calendly link present in the description below. If you think you want that, definitely feel free to connect with me. Alright, I think that's been quite a big video, but I hope it has been really helpful when you're thinking about AI as a product manager and what these new fancy terms in market are. So definitely do not forget to hit like and subscribe. And if there's nothing else, see you all next week. Bye-bye.